So, I just want to warn you. Go and get some popcorn. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be a long video. I'm not saying you have to have played the game, but it would certainly, I think, help for context in certain areas if you have played the game. But regardless of that, it is about time. I've been talking about it enough. If you're familiar with the channel, so let's get it, let's do it. Cyberpunk 2077 game discussion and review.
Finally! Finally! Finally!
Viewer discretion advised.
Show no respect and no shit, nobody goes this deep.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. You've clicked on Gotham Centibytes. I'm Terry, and today I included that little the rock intro is because, for two purposes. Not only is it finally, because this game has been out, we're in January now of 25, so this game has been out over 4 years. So finally, reviewing a 4-year-old game. And finally, because I think I repurchased it on Xbox Series S in June, and I think I've been talking about doing this review probably since August. I mean, I've been talking about doing it for a long time. It just got busy at work, and then holidays, and then sick. Whatever the case, today we are finally going to sit down. And it's going to be mostly a discussion. I am going to throw some ratings out there, but I just want to forewarn anybody. This is pretty much my favorite game of all time now. So there is going to be a dislikes section where I'm just pretty much going to talk about just small things that I think should have been in there, and few things I think could have made this game better and will make the next one better going forward. But if you're in, watching this to hear some negative shit, there's not going to be any purely negative anything going on with this video. So if you're here for that, sorry, disappoint. See yourself out now. Another disclaimer is I'm not going to go into the full story, but when we get to the section where I talk about endings, I'm going to talk about all of the endings. Maybe not into full detail, but so potential for spoilers. Again, like I said at the top of this, it's 4 years old, but thanks to the anime and just, in my opinion, CD Projekt Red sticking with it. I mean, not like any other studios now where it came out, failed, and they just stuck with it. The game we have now is what we were promised from the beginning. It is an unbelievable game. But, so yeah, spoilers ahead. Alright, so I am going to section this video off, kind of keep myself limited with a few topics, otherwise I would literally be sitting here for hours. But so this first section is just, pretty much the why. Why now? Why after 4 years are you making this video? And the fact is, I got the game at launch. It was a mess, complete mess on Xbox One. But throughout the bugs and throughout all of the horrendous shit, I was still able to get through it, play through it, enjoyed it, got to see all the endings but the one that's been added with Phantom Liberty, or the secret ending. I did get access to the secret ending, but got my fucking ass handed to me. So I never attempted to fully go through the secret ending. I'll explain why when we get there, but so why now, 4 years later? Well, in 2024, like I said in June, I saw there was an expansion, and by the time I saw it, the expansion was almost, I think it was 9 months old. So I immediately got on Xbox One. I'm looking, I'm like, well, it's not here. So then doing more research, it's only for PC and the next gen console. So I thought it's 2024, let me finally upgrade. So I upgraded it. I didn't have to repurchase the game, so I was able to download the game. Xbox Series, I got an S because it's smaller, no disk drive nowadays. But re-downloaded it, purchased and downloaded Phantom Liberty. And let me tell you, from start to finish, load times were insanely fast. How quick you can get into this game from Xbox dashboard to playing is probably, it's night and day. It's crazy. But just the start, I'm going through the whole story as a nomad at first, and it's just crazy how much was either not in that game, wouldn't load in that game, or just that they've added to since launch. So playing through my first time back as a nomad, start to finish, I cannot tell you how much I loved this game. So I went back and played through it, every single life path, and we'll get into life paths here soon. But if you know me, I don't watch any anime, but this game, this world is so good, I watch the anime. And let me tell you, if I didn't already love this game and it had the same soundtrack as the game, I don't know if I would have been able to sit through a whole season of anime. But it's the same universe, same soundtrack. I really, really love the anime, and the anime itself, I think, is why it boosted the game. Of course, it added to the game making a resurgence. But so yeah, got me to watch an anime. It's probably my favorite game of all time. It used to be the Mass Effect series, but this is now my favorite game of all time. And of course, you see what's behind me. So, I'm into collectibles. I collect everything. So I'll go through here the small video showing you what all I bought because of this game. I got V's dashboard dog. I got Hot Toys, Johnny Silverhand, a couple pops, Johnny Pop, the Goro Pop. I would buy Judy and Pan Am Pops, but they don't ever have them. They don't have them yet, right, Funko? And then, of course, the Dark Horse, Judy, Pan Am, and then I think it was the Good Smile Company made this Rebecca. So again, this game and this anime was so good. Yes, now there's a small anime piece in my collection. And moving straight into that, I want to just highlight Prime 1 and Pure Arts, because if you see here at first, Pure Arts has made Johnny Silverhand, Reed from Phantom Liberty, and Judy, which is I go back and forth between Judy and Pan Am. I'm not really interested in these three statues. They're quarter scale. They're pretty large pieces, and I just don't have room on the game shelf. This is why I went with the Hot Toy. But I do think, and I guess this is the determining factor, I like Pan Am more. So if they make a Pan Am statue, depending on what the pose is, depending on how her footprint, I would get that. But moving on to the anime side, at Edge Runners, Prime 1 statues, as you see here, we have Lucy, David, and Rebecca. And if these are priced correctly, I wouldn't mind having Rebecca on her own. As you saw, I have the Rebecca small little statue. She's my favorite character in the whole anime. I really enjoyed her. But yeah, so why now? Because this game really moved me. It's my favorite game of all time. And if you're new here, you can subscribe if you want to. It's fine. If you're just passing through, welcome. But I don't do many game reviews. I don't really do many movie reviews anymore. But this game, I feel like it moved me enough to where I wanted to sit down and talk about it. I mean, Facebook groups. I mean, it's just nice. I love this game. So that, in a nutshell, is why I'm doing it now. Alright, so I'm going to discuss the general story, life path options, but before I do, as you saw in the intro and the thumbnail, those 6 characters on the thumbnail. Those are my V's, and I'm going to show you them individually. My first playthrough was a Nomad, so these are my 3 Nomad playthroughs. I think I like playing as Nomad V better as a male V, but you'll see in this next one. I've only done the Corpo playthrough once, and it was enough. I'm glad I got to experience it, but it's probably my least favorite. And this next one is my 2 Street Kids. I think it was my second or third playthrough was the first Street Kid, and my most recent, the one I'm playing now, is the Street Kid. So those are my 6 V's. You'll notice 4 females, 2 males, and I'll just go ahead and tell you this now. My opinion, the 2 actors, I much prefer female V. And I'm not saying the entire time, but sometimes male V sounds like a fake voice, like he phoned it in. And again, I'm not saying it the entire time. This is all my opinion, but I much prefer the female voice actress. And of course, it's always, when we get into talking about photo mode, I just prefer taking the pictures as a woman. I don't know, I just prefer the actress altogether, female V. So those are my V's, and let's get into general story. So to start, after you make your character, you have 3 choices. As we just discussed, you can be Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpo. And we'll just go through all of it too really quick. No matter which life path you choose, you meet somebody in the very beginning named Jackie. As a nomad, you're kind of just left your nomad clan, and you're on this one last job, and you have to call your old nomad chooms, but they end up sending you the signal to where the client is, and when you get there, the client is Jackie. And what does he want you to do? You're a nomad, so he wants you to help him smuggle a package across the border back into Night City. And throughout that process, you kind of get to know Jackie. You end up getting shot at. The corporation that owns the package that you're smuggling is involved for a brief shootout. And then of course you end up in a garage, and that's where Jackie takes a liking to you. Pretty much tells you he was going to screw you and just leave you high and dry. And then a lizard pops up out of the package. And essentially, that's how you meet Jackie as a nomad. Street Kid is a little different. You're at the bar where Jackie's mother owns, and you're helping the bartender, come up with a solution to a problem he has, a loan shark. So the loan shark ends up being this sniveling little weasel, Kirk. So Kirk gives you a job, and this V, as a Street Kid, is just coming back from Atlanta. Kind of tried to get out of Night City, failed, so they came back. You get that job from Kurt. The job is to steal a Corpo's car, and pretty much impossible nowadays in 2077. But yeah, it's based in 2077. I believe that should be obvious. So we're in the way distant future. But so you go and steal this Corpo's car, and as soon as you get in, whatever the device Kurt gives you works, and then the door opens, and who is it? It's Jackie. He's like, "Nah, Choom, I'm stealing this car." And so you both get found out by the cops. The cops show up right after that. You're both face on the ground. And this is where the cops kind of get told by the corporal guy to kill you. And then you almost get killed by the cops, but then you're just dumped in an alley. And that's when somehow it's Jackie's mom's bar, and you're a street kid in Haywood, born and raised, but somehow you never met Jackie before this. A little crazy. So from that point on, it takes the same intro, you meet Jackie, and now you're a merc in Night City with Jackie. Corpo was probably the least interesting, in my opinion. You start out in an office, and it's high-stress environment, corporation, and your best friend is already Jackie. So your boss is kind of having trouble with a rival in the corp, and he hires you. He pretty much demands that you kill this person. So who do you call? Who do you trust to help you kill someone? Your best friend Jackie. So you fly out in the Corpo AV and you meet Jackie at Lizzie's bar, and that's when Jackie pretty much tells you, like, look, this is a stupid idea. Don't get involved. And that's when Corpo guys show up miraculously. They already know everything, and they almost kill you. Jackie stops them from killing you, but they do fire you, take all your money, take all your implants, deactivate them, all that nice stuff. And then from that point on, Jackie's like, good, you're born again. And that's how you become a merc as a corpo. Either way, I'm not going to get into any more of the prologue, but the gist of it is, no matter which 3 life paths we just discussed, Jackie's your friend. There's a time jump, and he gets the opportunity or the gig of a lifetime, and it's for this fixer named Dexter Deshawn. And either way you slice it, it doesn't go well, and so you end up trying to clip a Arasaka biochip, and throughout the shootout, you slot it into the back of your head pretty much. And when you meet Dexter, tell him the job, got fucked. I can't tell you what happened in the beginning. I know I just spoiled all the life paths, but still. You meet back up with Dex at a no-tell motel where he, tells you to go in the bathroom and then pretty much shoot you. The prologue is long as hell, so it took me, my first playthrough, a couple days to get through the prologue. And the way I do it now is I complete every freaking thing I can for Regina before I go through with the mission. So I'm usually close to level 20 now. But so that's the prologue. No matter which way you slice it, you end up with this biochip in your head when you get killed that brings you back to life, and you find out it's Johnny Silverhand's engram. So now for the rest of the game you got Keanu Reeves playing Johnny Silverhand in your head. And the only thing I would say, like I just said, I do all the missions in the beginning that I can. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to hurry up and get to dealing with Johnny, throughout all of those missions, there's small dialogue you will miss not having Johnny there. Nothing substantial or significant, but you will miss a ton of funny and some emotional interactions with Johnny. But I've seen it so many times. I'd prefer to go into that final conflict of the prologue fully leveled up, all the cyberware you can. And, that's just my preferred method. So that's the general story. You wake up, you find out that this biochip with Johnny in it is slowly taking, because you got killed with it, so it's slowly taking over your consciousness. So essentially, his engram, his personality construct, is taking over V's body. So the whole game, they're claiming, takes place in a span of, I would probably say, between 2 and 3 weeks. Even though I have one playthrough that's almost 120 hours. You literally meet up with your partner like 40 times. It's essentially, I would think, the amount of time for a year to go by goes by, but still, it's generally supposed to take place in about 2-3 weeks. So yeah, you're just dealing with all this stuff coming at you, meeting all these good people, trying to figure out how to stop this chip from killing you. And that's the general story. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do now is talk about everything that I liked. The story of this game, the writing, and just everything. I mean, there's no gig or mission or any part of this game that isn't really well thought out and really well written. So it's one of the best, if not the best, story and writing in a game I think I've ever played. And the thing is, talking about the launch to where the game is now, with even in late 2024 at the 4-year mark, still updating, still adding to this game. There was a resurgence with the anime, a ton of anime Easter eggs you find in this game, including you can actually, there's a drink from David at the Afterlife bar. You can actually find the BD that leads you down the path, talking to Falco from David's crew, and end up getting to see David's jacket, wear it. I mean, it's pretty cool. But CD Projekt Red created this game, and they dealt with a ton of bullshit from fans. Roundabout deservingly so. This game was in the oven for a long time, and when we finally got what we got, it was a pile of what the fuck. Especially, I would say the one thing they should never have done was port this backwards to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It should have been exclusively from the start, next gen and PC only. And I tried to play the other day on my Xbox One. It wouldn't even let me. So, yes, I should never have been an Xbox One, but CD Projekt Red never just threw the towel in. They never gave up. There's another studio, BioWare, that they released Mass Effect Andromeda, and sure, after the backlash, they went back and they fixed a ton of stuff. But there was a huge Easter egg that was supposed to be a DLC. But when they finally made their last updates, they announced that the game essentially was abandoned. So no more updates. That same studio just released a new Dragon Age game. It just launched, and within the first week, they've already announced, we're moving on from this game. No DLC, probably very little updates. We're moving on to the next Mass Effect. So essentially, BioWare abandoned. And I liked Andromeda. It was probably the most fun, combat-wise, Mass Effect game. But yeah, they just completely abandoned it. They could have fixed that game, stuck to it like CD Projekt Red has done here, and eventually... I'm not trying to give studios excuses. You should not release shit that is not done. But if you stick to it like CD Projekt Red here, and actually playing it in December of 2020 and playing it right now, the characters are the same, but it's like it's a completely different game and experience, 100%. So CD Projekt Red never giving up, I think, was a huge for their future going forward, I think. And another thing I like is the endless options. You can do the same gig, one little tiny small gig. You could do 4 to 5 or more different ways. It depends on your play style. I usually like to be the soldier type, or the muscle head that just goes in there, guns blazing, just fucking over everybody. Another thing I'll talk about briefly here is you have all these weapons, but you do have a small thing, cyberware as choice, where you can do the gorilla arms, which help you fight. They're pretty cool. You can do mantis blades, which is essentially blades that come out of your arm, or you can do the monowire. And I'll be honest, I always avoided the monowire. Never had it. My 6th playthrough this time, I finally have it, and holy shit. It's probably my favorite. I usually will get the gorilla arms for all the boxing gigs, and as soon as I'm done, I'm the champ. Back to the monowire, I'll go. But so endless options to play this game. You can play the main story tons of different ways. You can play every gig tons of different ways. Even like the romance quests with Panem, River, Judy. It's insane the amount of ways you can get from point A to point B. And it's the different options, different scenarios to play out. So the soundtrack is amazing. When we get to the end, when I'm doing credits, the soundtrack to this game is probably my favorite soundtrack, period. I love that no matter if you're fighting Militech, Valentino's, 6th Street, no matter who you're fighting, there's like a different song for every faction you're fighting. And even when you get to Phantom Liberty, which is the expansion, it's a whole, almost a whole different soundtrack for that portion of the game. And so the soundtrack is my favorite. I'm gonna start using some regularly on the channel because that doesn't appear to be getting copyright flags. So yeah, soundtrack, I freaking love it. Dislikes. Romance options is the first dislike, and I love Judy and Panem's I guess you would say their missions, them from how you meet them and end up romancing them. I just don't feel like there's enough options. Like, if you're a male V, you only have Panam or Carrie. So you only have one option to be straight or one option to be gay. If you're a female V, you only have one option, Judy, or to be gay, or one option, River, to be straight. I have never, as a male V, I always Panam. As a female V, I'm always Judy. I've never seen any of the River stuff. I've never explored any of the Carrie stuff. I can't imagine. Johnny Silverhand is Carrie's best friend and former bandmate. I think it would be worth to do it once eventually, just to hear the dialogue between you and Johnny afterwards. But I don't think there's enough options. And to go back, sorry, to Mass Effect, when you're female and male Shepard, you always have at least 2 or 3 options. I mean, even going back and fixing into Mass Effect 3, even being gay, you have options. I mean, so I think, and it probably has all to do with probably content, whether it's recording with the actors, or just, more content for the game. But I really think, for instance, one of my favorite characters in the game is Claire. She's the bartender at Afterlife. And whether it's this game, type of game, or like Grand Theft Auto, I hate racing missions. I always avoid them like the plague. It's like, I'm not playing this game to race. I'm playing this game for the story and whatever. So I avoided, I don't think I did any of Claire's missions on Xbox One at this time. I avoided it like the plague, but then I finally did it, and you really get to know her after every race, and come to find out, you don't even have to win any of the races. You just have to kind of qualify for the end. And it would be cool getting to know Claire, throughout that, coming, to her conclusion with the revenge with her husband. And then she's the bartender in Afterlife, so a few of the endings, you end up taking over Afterlife. So it would be cool to have seen, and we're going to get into the endings, but when you wake up in the end and you're in like this fancy house, and you pretty much are told by Panam or Judy, it's over. But it would be cool if you woke up and it was Claire, and you both fly to Afterlife together, and you both kind of rule Afterlife together. I don't think it would have been too much more recording to include a Claire romance, and she could have been a romance option for both male or female. So, and that's just a small example, in my opinion. But going forward, and of course, there's people of the evening where you can go to, and something. And then you got the Militech chick Meredith. You can meet her at the beginning in the prologue. Later on, if you played your cards right, she'll text you, and you can go to the No-Tell Motel and have a scene with her. There just should have been more options, in my opinion. There really should have been more options. Maybe something to pursue with Meredith. She would have been, another romance option. But I think there just needs to be more of a choice. It's not, if you're straight, only Panam or River, and if you're gay, only Carrie or Judy. But don't get me wrong. As a man playing the game, you do have a choice between Panam and Judy, but still, I think romance options. And then while we're on the romance options, when you get to a certain part and you're pretty much together, and they text you every couple days to come to your apartment, the interaction with Panam and Judy, and those are the only 2 I've seen, I don't even know if there's reaction or interactions with Kiri at your apartment or River. I don't know, because I haven't gone down that route. But I just wish you could talk to them more, and every time you go meet an escort, you get a scene, you know, like with them in the bed. So I don't mean to go all perv here, but when you see your partner, it shouldn't just be same level of dialogue, go to bed and wake up. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe if it's not even every time they come over, but there should be an option to take them to bed. So yeah, romance option. It's not really a dislike, I just wish there was more. I mean, what we got is good, it's good enough. But, and I guess when you go back to what I said in the beginning, this game only really takes place in the span of 2 or 3 weeks. So I guess that makes sense, the way you playing the game for hundreds of hours, you're more emotionally invested into that character. But when you get to the endings, you find out, yeah, it really has only been 2 weeks, because the way they can just do that, and it's like, I thought we were this, but you just left. Anyways, another one on the list. There's really no winning. There's really no ultimate happy ending. And again, I know that's probably just a Cyberpunk thing where there's no happy endings in Night City, but there is an ending that's pretty happy, but you still are on a time clock and you're gonna die. So that's just a small nitpick, and again, that might be what makes some people really love this game. So, but yeah, there's a no-win scenario. In the beginning, we talked about it very briefly. The Fixer, Dexter Deshawn, and his bodyguard essentially hire you to do this gig. It goes south. They blame you. They kill you. You wake up in a landfill. Of course, the bodyguard of the person you stole the biochip from tracks you down and finds you in the landfill with Dexter. You can eventually find Dexter's body later, but he kills Dexter in front of your barely conscious self. I really wish that we... maybe something happens and Dexter runs away and Goro can't chase him because he's having to deal with you. There should have been that revenge factor for you. You know, I wish you were the one to kill Dexter, or at least come to find out his bodyguard got away, so maybe you can track his bodyguard down and kill him. I wanted revenge for Dexter, but it's taken from you. But very small nitpick, and you can go find his body and his gun later in that same landfill. Next one on the list is there's no new game plus, and if there's one thing I really love about games like Mass Effect and Borderlands, to throw another one out there, is the ability to start the game over, but be the level you were at the end and have all the shit you had at the beginning of the game. And you can do it like Mass Effect, where you essentially just start over and you already have all your experience, all your weapons, everything. Or you could do it like Borderlands, and sure, you start the game over, but your enemies are the same level as you. You're not just going to mow through them. They're the same level as you. If those people out there that are saying it'd be too easy. And I play the games to mow people down like that. I mean, I play games for the story. I don't play games for me to get pissed off. I played Cyberpunk all the way through, all on easy, because I like the story. Now, if there were achievements like there was in Mass Effect and Borderlands to beat the game on hard, I would have done it. If I don't have to, I'd prefer not to be pissed off all the time. I'd rather enjoy the game and enjoy the story. That would be cool going forward, maybe the next game, and I know people can do it PC with mods. I'm on a console. I wish there was some type of new game plus. It would be awesome to start from the beginning at level 60 and just be able to freaking destroy everything. Very small. But another thing I think would have added to the experience of this game, when you start the game, you create your V. And some people really go into full detail making this character the best you can, and then you never get to see them. I mean, you can in the mirror, you can in the pause menu, you can in photo mode. And photo mode is amazing, but I wish there were cutscenes, and it could only, maybe not the side gigs or the side missions, but I feel like the main story, it would be amazing to have cutscenes to where you get to see yourself talk and interact with people. Because even in photo mode, when you sit on a couch and you go full first person and you go into photo mode, you can't see yourself sitting down. When you are in action, whether it's sitting down on a couch, a stool, you can't see yourself. You're stuck in the first person mode in photo mode. So, photo mode, it'd be cool to see yourself sitting down with Judy, laying down with Judy, and not have to kind of, because I mean, it's possible to rig the system. It would be cool to have a sitting pose on the couch. It'd be cool to see yourself. It would be cool to have cutscenes where you get to see the character you made talking and interacting with characters, with certain characters. It'd be cool to see Johnny and V interacting with each other, or anybody really. But that's all of my, and it's not really dislikes. It's just things I think would have added to the game, and going forward, maybe it would make the next one better because they're already working on the second one, and I'll talk more about that here soon. All right, so my favorite endings to my least favorite ending. And again, I'm going to go into brief details, but my favorite ending is the Nomad ending, and it's where you go to the Aldecados for help. A few of my favorite characters do die: Bob, Teddy, Saul. But with the Nomad ending, you end up having essentially your happy ending. Whether it's stated here or in the credits, Pan Am becomes the clan leader because, again, Saul dies. But you essentially have 6 months to live, and you ride off into the sunset with the Aldecados to try to go find a better life for them and somehow a way to save you from dying. Because most of the endings here, even though you get rid of Johnny, his personality construct has altered your body enough to where Johnny is finally separated from you, but your body's too far gone and is going to die in 6 months regardless, because it's going to eventually see you as a threat and reject you. Kind of like an organ donor, where if you don't keep taking pills the rest of your life, the organ can still reject the body. So essentially that same type of concept here, where your body has been altered too much by Johnny's engram, so it thinks Johnny is the body. So most of the endings, the body is going to reject you, and so you have 6 months to live. So in that ending, you ride off in the sunset with Pan Am, hopefully to find a cure, 6 months to live. I probably would say my next favorite ending in the list is the secret ending.
If I gotta die, rather fall into my grave, gun in hand and on fire, and not drag anyone down with me.
You just discovered what it takes to become a legend. Grab your eye. Let's mobilize.
Welcome to Arasaka Tower.
Time to party like it's 2023.
Are not allowed on the premises. We wish you.
And it's the one where Johnny, if you've had certain dialogue options in the story with Johnny, the secret ending opens up and it's saying, you know, F all the other options. You and Johnny storm Arasaka yourself. And if you die at any point, that's how the story ends. So in this ending, there's no checkpoint, there's no saving. If you die, the game ends. But you can essentially fight your way through, talk to Alt, same way she tells you that, you know, your body, 6 months to live. In this ending and in the next ending, you don't have a choice with the ending. You go from that. If you go back to your body, you wake up in the mansion, essentially taking over afterlife. And in this ending and the next one, you end up talking to this guy, which is determined, you know, we call him Mr. Blue Eyes. He gives you a mission to go to the Crystal Palace, which is like an orbiting station for the rich. So the game ends with you kind of drifting towards it in space. So, in that option, yeah, you take over Afterlife, but Rogue is there at the end. So, the next ending is the Rogue ending. And that's where you essentially give Johnny the body, and you kind of just take a back seat, to which he goes and asks Rogue for help. She comes up with this pretty cool plan with these jump boots, and you fly into Arasaka, into the same jungle scene that we'll talk about in another ending. You also go with Waylon, and he's a pretty cool character. There is an opportunity to save his life. It's easily when you crash. There is an easily opportunity for him to not make it. But if you go and save him, he is actually with you during the Atom Smasher fight. But this ending, Atom Smasher does kill Rogue, so you go through the same ending. And this one is very unique because when you get to Mikoshi, instead of being V looking at Johnny and talking to Johnny, you are essentially still Johnny and you're looking at yourself. So it's the only part of the game that you ever get to look at yourself, see yourself move and talk and interact with someone. But the reason I put this ending below the secret ending is because it comes off to where if you're Johnny and you want to go back to the body, it makes it come off as you're stealing V's body, which I don't. So I would think if you're going to give Johnny the body, I would do it as V. I would give Johnny the body as V, because if you take the body as Johnny, you kind of it makes Johnny come off as an asshole stealing your body. But this ending too, same thing. You wake up in the mansion. Your loved one tells you, I'm leaving Night City if it's Judy, or I'm going with the clan. We're leaving if it's Pan Am. So either way, either of those two endings, you lose your loved one and you go to the afterlife, talk with the Mr. Blue Eyes again. Only this time, Rogue is dead. So that's the only difference between those two. Is it's Rogue for help and Rogue's dead. But the next one, I would say again, and it's kind of like you don't really have to do any of the other options. This is the very, like from Mikoshi on, this ending is different. And that is if you give Johnny the body. Because essentially, she tells you, 6 months to live if you go back to the body. Johnny's going to come with me past the Black Wall. But if you choose to go with Alt past the Black Wall, Johnny then gets the body. So Johnny wakes up as V, and it's this cool kind of errand running with this kid that you have in your, I don't know if it's a hotel or apartment that Johnny V is in. But so this kid takes you to a few places. He takes you to essentially what is the Night City, I guess, graveyard, essentially. So in this instance, it could be just V you're leaving a memento for, or if Rogue has died in this option, you can leave another memento for Rogue, and then the same kid will take you to a guitar store where you pick out a guitar, and then you board the bus and leave Night City as Johnny, and the kid's kind of running the bus down saying, you forgot this guitar you just bought, and it's Johnny saying, no I didn't. So essentially in this ending, Johnny in V's body leaves Night City and gives this guitar to this kid that helped him and all that stuff. So it's a pretty cool ending, and this is essentially the only ending where, I know it's Johnny, but the body with Johnny at the driver's seat essentially does not have a ticking time bomb. So this is like the only ending that where someone can live, essentially. But the last two, it would be hard pressed to rate them one over the other. But I guess my next favorite ending would be the one you get from Phantom Liberty. And it's not even my next favorite. It's the bottom of the barrel here, people. These next two suck. But with the happenings in Phantom Liberty, you were offered a solution, a cure, and it's an AI piece of software that will essentially this version's FIA is, or the FBI, or whatever it is that rules the government of our country in 2077, can use this technology to cure you, to pull Johnny out of you. So in this option, A, you're essentially killing Johnny, because you're not setting him free with alt, you are just killing him. So Johnny gets killed in this one, essentially, erased. But the operation takes so damn long, you wake up 2 years later, and it's like, Pan Am doesn't even answer the phone. Whether you're male V or female V, whether it's female best friends with Pan Am, or if it's male V together with Pan Am doesn't fucking even talk to you. And if you're with Judy, she's married to somebody else. And this is why I said, to me, doesn't matter if you're with Judy or Pan Am. Pan Am essentially ghosts you, forgets about you. Judy gets married to somebody else. So it's over 100 hours you play, and you get invested with these characters and want a good ending. But it goes back to, this game is only taking place over the span of 2 weeks. So you kind of understand why they just move on, or if they just fuck him and ghost him. So I kind of understand. I don't like it. Like, the first time I saw this ending was male V, and Pan Am didn't answer. And that's how the game ended. And I was okay with it. I'm like, okay. Because you start putting it in your mind, I'm going to go find Pan Am and be with the avocados. But then when the credits roll, and fucking Mitch tells you, it's great that you're alive, but pretty much, don't fucking call again. Pan Am was hurt, she's moved on, don't fucking call us anymore. And that broke me. To where I'm like, fuck this ending, I will never use the cure again. So there's a lot more involved with that ending. You kind of find Victor, your doctor, in the prologue, one of your friends. You meet him a lot in the boxing missions. But he is sold out to Corpo. And then Misty, who is Jackie's girlfriend, is she shows up wearing Jackie's jacket, and I'm like, man, it would have been cool if we could have found Jackie's outfit and wore it. You know, like there's a certain point where you go to Jackie's garage and you get his bike. I would have worn Jackie's jacket almost every playthrough if we were able to get it. Moving on though. So yeah, it's 2 years later, and not only did you lose your significant other, but you essentially your body can't sustain any cyberware. So with this ending, V lives, Johnny is dead, you lose your significant other, and essentially pretty much every fucking friend you had, and you're normal, never to be using cyberware again. So, you survive, but you essentially lose fucking everything. So you get the point where you're thinking, I'd rather be dead. But yeah, which brings us to the final ending. The ending I didn't even know was an option until I played it on Xbox Series S. Pretty much, there's a standoff where you're with Johnny, and this is essentially where you choose the ending to go, you know what, I did miss one. We'll talk about it later. Here after this one, as I'm already in this one. But, suicide. So you can essentially do suicide instead of doing any of these missions. But to me, like, you're killing yourself and you're killing Johnny. So suicide's never the answer, not even in this game. It's unique and cool that it's included as an option, but motherfucker, who the fuck is actually gonna say that's my ending? So that's the worst ending. But I would say the next ending we're gonna talk about, and this one I should have talked about already, I forgot all about it, but I would rate it above Facing the Crowd. Facing the Crowd is the ending where you lose everything and you wake up 2 years later. Suicide is the worst. So let's put this ending I'm about to talk about, which is the Arasaka ending, right just barely in front of Facing the Crowd. And with this ending, in the beginning of the game, I didn't talk about it, but the Arasaka family. Let's just be brief as we can. There's a father, a son, and a daughter. The son kills the father. The son takes over the company. So by the end of the mission, you and the father's bodyguard, Goro, figure out how to get in contact with the daughter. You convince the daughter, Hanako, that you convince her that, your brother killed your father. And while we're here, I would say, as a street kid, because Goro kidnaps her to get her alone so we can talk to her. But as a street kid, some of the best dialogue option in the game was at this point, where she pretty much tells off Hanako.
I was there that night at Konpeki Plaza. I saw Saburo Arasaka die. He wasn't poisoned. It's a lie your brother made up and spread. Yorinobu is the murderer.
You must be mad to think I will listen to such nonsense.
Why? My word means shit to you?
Hanako-sama, I apologize on her behalf.
Oh, shut up, Goro. We're supposed to be honest. Well, that's what I'm being. Fine, maybe I am just a 2-bit thief, but I'm the 2-bit thief that stole that fucking relic off you. Slotted it in, took a bullet to the brain, died.
You died?
Oh yeah, now I'm stuck with Johnny fucking Silverhand in there and I'll do anything to get him out. So I got exactly nothing to lose. But you got lots.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite dialogue in the game, and it's a street kid option. You don't have that option here in that instance as anything else. But so essentially the ending, you go with Hanako's help. With Hanako's help, that video you just saw, right after that conversation, Arasaka finds you, and there's a way where you can just bail and Goro is left in there and he dies, or you can go back through the building, fight your way, save Goro. If your plan is to see the Arasaka ending, see it one time, do it when you save Goro, because the ending is very shitty. Don't like it, but it is 100% better if it's Goro you're talking to and not Andrews. So save Goro at that point we just saw. When you get to the ending, you have to go save Hanako because the brother has locked her away. So Goro and Anders pick you up. You go and you fight your way through there, you save her, and then you all fly to Arasaka, to which Hanako takes you to the soul killer part of this building, and you actually find out that the father saved his biochip. So she picks up the father's biochip, and then you go to this meeting of all the Arasaka executives, and it's all in that same jungle landscape that we saw in the Rogue ending where we fought our way through. But you have a sit down, and they're all like, fuck off, we don't believe you. But then Hanako brings the father to the meeting, and at that meeting, of course, the brother's people show up, which is, the brother is Yorinobu. His people show up, there's a gunfight, and then you and Goro make your way to the brother, to where ultimately the daughter takes the father's personality construct and puts it into the brother. So the father takes over the son's body on the Arasaka family, and then you, as compensation for helping this happen, are taken to Arasaka's, I don't know if it's just a space station or if it's on the moon. It's probably stated, I just fucking missed it. But they kind of deemed the operation a success, and I don't know here if it's stated that Johnny was ripped out and killed like he is in the face in the crowd, or if they're able to successfully remove and intact Johnny's engram. Again, it could have been stated. I hate this ending, so I probably should have paid more attention than I did. But you kind of, time flies in this ending, and it kind of starts off all colorful, which I think is pretty cool. By the end of it, when you actually wake up, I just deem it to the operation and your eyesight be adjusting. But yeah. So you wake up and Goro's there, pretty much giving you an option, telling you the same thing the alt told you, that you have 6 months to live and we can send you back to Night City, or you can essentially join the Soul Killer program, which is to put your soul in the new Mikoshi, and when they find a suitable body, they can put you and bring you back. Either option is pretty shitty, but yeah, there's a way where you can tell them to fuck off, and you're sent back to Earth to deal with the same ending, or you can go in the operation room, and then that's how it ends, with you kind of... The look on V's face is like she knows she's probably never going to be put into another body. But, so yeah, that is the final ending. So that was quite a mouthful. I mean, I said I'm not going to go into extreme detail, and I kind of did. So here we are, towards the end, and I have said a lot, I've gave up a lot, but I haven't said, nearly. I don't know, like, I feel like if you're playing the game after watching this, I said a lot, and I spoiled a lot, but I really barely scratched the surface, I think, besides the ending section, you guys, and this is 4 years later, so you guys have undoubtedly, hopefully, played the game. And if you haven't, whether you have a PC, a PS5, Xbox One, or fuck, what's this one called? I've always been an Xbox guy, but the names of your consoles are pretty fucking confusing. Xbox Series S. Be simple. Xbox 3. No. Xbox... This is the fourth gen. But doesn't matter what you're playing on, what you usually game on, or if it's Steam on computer. Go out and play this game. If you were a day one supporter and you were like, fuck this shit, this is whack, go play it again. I promise. It's a completely different experience and worth every penny. If you're looking for something else to play on Xbox Series or PS5, see how easy PS5 is to say? You're gonna find great enjoyment at this game. Which brings me, I guess we can do the overall rating right now. Day one on Xbox One, I probably would give this game a 3 out of 10. It was below average. If I wasn't a diehard loner gamer, like I don't like online stuff like Destiny or what's Call of Duty where you play with your friends. That's not me. Give me an RPG I can play all by myself. So, but yeah, if I hadn't already been an RPG guy, I actually stomached it, got through it. It was really bad. I cannot tell you enough how bad this game was on Xbox One the day it came out. And I've already said in this review or discussion that they should have never put it on Xbox One. But so 3 out of 10. And I thought Mass Effect would be my favorite game for all time. But I can sit up here and say with full confidence, this is my favorite game I've ever played. So saying that, on Xbox Series S, I give it a 10 out of 10. So 3 out of 10, and then 10 out of 10. And then as far as Phantom Liberty goes, I know I didn't talk about it a whole lot, but I promise you guys, that's worth its money too. And you can find the game right now on, I think, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation. There's a combo deal where you can buy the game and the DLC, but if you've already bought the game, just the DLC is worth every penny. Phantom Liberty, again, I would say is the best DLC or add-on content of any game. I mean, the way it holds true, but also adds so much to this game. And I don't really remember playing on Xbox One a whole lot. But on the Xbox Series S, you see Dogtown, you see the Phantom Liberty. It's in the background in Pacifica. You can totally see that neighborhood, even when you can't get to it yet. So it adds a level of scenery. I mean, it's the best DLC of all time. And you guys, if you want me to do a discussion just about Phantom Liberty, I'm open to that. If I get enough, if this is gonna be a long fucking video, probably my longest video. But if you guys really want to see me sit down and go over and talk about Phantom Liberty separately, I totally would. I'd be down to do that later. I was watching this back, everything I filmed, and I let you guys know in the romance section I prefer Judy and Pan Am, but I didn't really give you guys a definitive of who I prefer, so I really think off pure looks, I think Judy looks better, but overall fit for V, and it sucks you can't experience it as a woman, but again, I get it, boundaries are set, and that's cool, but I think for overall, she's your ride or die. Just to give you an example, at the end, when you call Judy, tell her you're about to do something that's dangerous, to fix your chip and to fix the Johnny situation, and it may be dangerous. Judy's just like, alright, whatever you have to do, good luck, I'll be waiting. But Pan Am, hold the phone at midnight, drops everything she's doing, comes and gets your ass, and then uses her whole clan to make sure. I mean, that's the Nomad ending. She'll come and pick you up, and she's your ride or die. So, even if you're female V and she's your best friend, she is willing to drop everything, come get you, use the clan to help you. So, Pan Am's my favorite. Pan Am's my favorite. I do want to talk about photo mode. I know you guys saw some of my pictures. The one of Claire, that's probably my favorite shot of all time. And I would go back and look at that in the, the likes? Or dislikes. Because it was a non-romance topic. But as I'm talking about photo mode, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite photos I've taken in the last few months. They recently had an update, so now you can actually add your significant other and a whole slew of people in pictures with you, and I'm gonna die on this sword, I think, but Claire's not one of them. I really wish Claire was able to be added in photo mode, and you'll see a picture, whether it came across earlier or if it's coming across now. I had to take that picture right after I spoke to Claire in her mission. So Claire is in one of the pictures, one of the group shots, but anyways, photo mode is 100% better. I still have my gripes about not being able to see or take pictures of yourself sitting down, which is a bummer. But yeah, photo mode is amazing. I have full confidence now in CD Projekt Red, so I'm looking forward to playing The Witcher 3, and I hope that there's a photo mode in that game. I've never played it. Maybe there is. You guys let me know if there is. But so that's going to wrap the review. I do want to give a few shout-outs. I'm just going to mention a few YouTube channels. One is directly affiliated with this game. The other two just happen to be people I either came across searching for when I was doing those last few achievements. But the first one, Big Dan Gaming. If you like content like this, much more well done, I definitely would go give him a subscribe. He does a lot of RPG games and just, overall helpful videos, and just his review of Dragon Age has saved my money. Like, I'm not gonna get the new Dragon Age until it's like almost free. But yeah, go check out Dan Allen Gaming. Another one, it's pretty similar, but it's Dan Allen Gaming. This one I came across just searching for Cyberpunk videos, and he actually has sat down and interviewed a ton of the voice actors. So I got to see male V, female V, Somi, which is a Phantom Liberty character, Kurt, which is a Phantom Liberty character. He's interviewed Rogue, Judy, Pan Am, I haven't said that yet. He's interviewed a ton of the voice actors for this game, and he does that for a ton of other games. And he has other gaming content. Dan Allen Gaming, give him a follow. The last one I want to bring up, I really like the soundtrack for this game. I purchased about all I can. I'd like to purchase more, but some of these songs are I guess they're only licensed for streaming only, so you can't buy them on iTunes, but you can see them on the Apple Music app, and you can add them to your playlist if you're paying for that. But Conrad Old Money, I came across his YouTube channel, and he actually has documentaries actually making a ton of the radio songs that you hear in the car when you're driving. So I would definitely recommend, if you like a lot of the radio songs when you're driving around in this game, I would go give him a follow. I mean, it's really, really, really good content. Lastly, I want to personally thank CD Projekt Red. This is my first game I've played by you guys, and I can't tell you. I know it took me 4 years to come back to this game, just about, but I can't tell you how much I am in love with this game, and I can't wait for the next one. So they have announced a sequel, but they haven't really announced whether or not it's going to be V. You guys helped me out. You just heard me go through all the endings, and you heard me say more than once that this game takes place in the span of 2 weeks. So most of those endings leave V with 6 months to live. So most of those endings, V can return, and we can be in those 6 months still searching for a cure, still having to deal with this huge problem. I would even go as far as to say as even the Facing the Crowd ending. I mean, what if the FIA is lying to you and your cyberware is just like deactivated? It's not impossible. I don't know. You guys help me out. I am really in love with the game, the universe, and especially V. And I'm gonna play the game regardless. But I would love to see V come back. We can do it. 6 months to live. We can make. It'll piss some people off, but you can make one of those. And I know it's gonna take a lot. Sequels are always more work because you have all this shit that happens in the first game you have to account for. But they can make one of these endings canon. And again, this game was 2 weeks. We have 6 months of V's life we could explore. So, big shout out to CD Projekt Red. Thank you so much for sticking to this game. And then thank you to all of you who are watching this and you've made it this far in the video. Thank you so much. If you're new here, hit the like button. And I always say subscribe if you want to. This was very fun and to make, and to get through producing was a nightmare. This is my most ambitious video. So I hope you guys like it. I very much do like it. I'm not saying I can do this again. This really was. You guys don't know how long I've been talking about this. This was a chore and a half, but we're through it. Thank you all so much for watching, and it's looking like Harley Who Laughs will be my next video for all those people watching who watch for the stuff behind me. Harley Who Laughs is next, hopefully within a few months. So I'll see you all there, and no matter what it is, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.